You're listening to The Money Hour with your host, Tina Mitchell, sponsored by Absolute Mortgage, a division of Finance of America Mortgage. Now, in the studio, local mortgage and finance expert, Tina Mitchell.
Welcome back to the Money Hour at 11:50 a.m. KKNW, the Saturday, January 9th show. It's a great day to talk money. That's why I'm here with you and what the show is all about, how to make money, save money, build a better quality of life for you and your family. If you're hearing my show at a different time, you are listening to a rebroadcast, but I am always here to answer your questions, and you can call the show at 1-855-400-1150, or you can go online at themoneyhour.com. Also, if you'd like to connect with any of the guests that I have in studio, make sure that you reach out as well. Right now in studio, I have Ryland Taniguchi with the Ryco Group, and we're going to talk about flipping homes today. Ryland, thank you so much for coming back in studio. Excited to hear what's going on in the opportunities in flipping properties with all of the appreciation that we're seeing in the market and the anticipation of the continued appreciation. It's a great opportunity to be able to do this.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Tina. I can't believe how much you know about all this loan stuff. It's like 5 PMI. I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Well, you know, in my arena, I should know it all, right?
Yeah,
just like you do, as you do in yours. Thank you, Ryland. And a little bit about Ryland. Ryland's been investing in real estate since 2000. He is a builder, developer, a general contractor, and a realtor. He owns 172 cash flow rental properties and develops 100 houses every year. And with this, he obviously has the experience needed to share a wealth of advice. So again, Ryland, I just think this is a great topic.
That's a lot of houses.
No, that is a lot of houses. Can you explain how you get that done?
Trying to keep track of all that is ridiculous.
We got to have a team helping out.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's. How do you do that? I mean, how do you find the properties to flip, Ryland?
Well, I mean, the first thing is we do 25 a quarter, so you try to focus on 8 a month because, you know, you try to make it a little more manageable. But, you know, you just have to have systems. So we have very good marketing systems to contact off-market properties.
Okay.
So these are not properties on the MLS that all the realtors have access to. And then most of the deals will come that way. We actually stay away from the auctions, so we don't actually buy at the auctions here locally in Seattle. I think the price is a little bit too high for what we want to pay. So we tend to stay away from that. And, you know, one of the biggest things is we literally research properties and then we door knock. So we find, you know, these type of situations. So it's definitely difficult, but you got to have a good system in place.
Yeah, well, just like anything else. And if I've known you for a while, Ryland, and I know that you are definitely a systems guy. And it's interesting to say about the purchasing auction, because I think that's probably the most common way that people are purchasing and flipping properties is they're going down to the auction house. So an opportunity to do something a little different.
In my opinion, if you're going to the auction, you're paying too much.
Yes.
At least here in Seattle. Maybe in other parts of the country. Definitely in King County, you probably have a little bit better luck in the auction up in Pierce, Kitsap, you know, some of the more further out areas.
Okay.
But it's very competitive at the auction, and I've watched the auction for years and just not seen the type of deals that, you know, we'd want to buy.
Okay. What about analyzing a flip?
Yeah, so that's why we don't buy at the auction, because we want to be at the after repair value, right? It's ARV is what we call ARV. We want to be at 70% of that minus construction costs, and that has to be calculated correctly. When I do my ARV calculations, I actually flipped houses back in 2008 when the market crashed.
Okay.
So I kind of remember all those data points from back then, and I try to keep that in mind because, you know, a lot of us expect the market to be hitting some, maybe not a big crash, but some kind of slowdown, maybe in the next year or two. And that would definitely affect some areas when you're flipping houses. So
when you talk, I think that would be the one place that people might have a concern in flipping is just, what if I don't time the market right and while I've got these properties? So how do you, what is your advice on that?
Yeah,
Ryland?
So what I've learned from doing this since 2004, because I started buying rental properties in 2000. So I've been flipping for 11 years now here in this market. And what I've learned is the low price point stuff. So I like to find houses under $80,000.
Okay.
A lot in Olympia, Arlington.
I was going to say, where are you finding
Tacoma? I mean, believe it or not, we find houses for $50,000.
Really?
In Seattle, right? That's crazy. But it's like Tacoma or, you know, Lacey, Olympia, you know, areas like that. I find that the low price range is not as affected as much by the market crashes.
Okay.
So I like the lower price range properties to flip.
Or it's going to hit them after
it can't
it's
go
already...
lower than 50 grand, right?
Yes.
So you hit the low part of the price range. And then you hit the hot areas. So Bellevue, Wallingford, Mercer Island, Ballard, Queen Anne, areas like that are always been hot. If you stay in the low end and the hot end, you're probably going to do fine because it wasn't that much affected in 2008. The areas that get crushed are everything in between. So Renton, Auburn, West Seattle, Lake Stevens. You got to be careful flipping there. So for us, we want to get a better deal if we're in the middle price ranges. Yeah,
and I mean, obviously the whole market was affected when the market crashed, but it's affected a less amount, and it kind of follows, and so it takes a little longer for those markets to hit, correct?
Yeah, like in Ballard, prices went down 25, 50,000. Anything on Wallingford, didn't matter, 08, 09, those properties were going fast.
Wow.
Some areas you just can't find properties. So when the market crashes, people still want to live there. There's more demand than supply, and you'll be okay if you stay in those areas. But you got to buy it right. 70% of ARV minus construction costs is very difficult to find.
So let's talk about the profit then. So what are you realistically looking as far as profit?
Yeah, typically when you flip, a lot of people don't realize that you have to buy the property usually half of what what it would be on the MLS. Because you got 10% that's going to go to closing costs. You have to use agents, right? Even if there's no way around it. If you're going to sell the house fast, you got to use a real estate agent. There's no way around that.
Yep.
So you're looking at 10%, and then you got 5% for holding costs. So just off the bat, you already lost 15%. In all the closing costs and holding costs. So if you want to make any money, you have to buy it at 30% of what it will sell for at the after repair value. And then you got the rehab costs, so you got to factor that in. So by the time you end of it, if you're going to sell it for 300, a lot of times you got to buy it for 150.
Wow.
So it's you got to get some good deal in order to have a safe profit margin.
And being able to find those good deals and really making sure that you're getting the best property in, more than even any other type of real estate, you really need to make sure that you have that expert that's taking care of you.
Yeah,
understands
it's hard to find,
market.
and it's really hard for smaller. We've been doing it for a long time, so we have a lot of relationships. We have a lot of systems in place. I noticed that maybe 5% of the flippers are doing 95% of the volume.
Yeah,
it's very hard for people to find a single deal. For us to keep finding 10 deals a month that fit this criteria, you got to have a pretty good system in place.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Things like that. Yeah.
What about the value of seller subordination, Ryland?
Oh, well, so when you're, in a market like this, you have, there's different ways you can get a deal, right? So seller subordination is a way that you can offer a seller a higher price, but basically what they're doing is they're putting their mortgage in part of the payment that you're giving them is going in second position on the loan.
Yep.
So what that allows you to do is to get better financing with a hard money lender or a private lender. So a lot of times you could do a flip with zero down if you get a seller to go in second position. So sometimes you can offer more money, which is nice when the market's hot like this, where you can't find deals. Sometimes you got to know how to be able to offer a little, make a higher offer price and still make your numbers work.
Makes sense. Now let's talk about the construction and completing construction in 30 days. How do you do that?
Yeah, so we do our flips in 30 days.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's 4,000 square feet, 1,000 square feet. It's very difficult to do and that quick.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And we do that because we have our own construction company, and we own all the subcontractors we own. So we own our own electrical company, we own our HVAC company, we own our own tile company, plumbing. These are the things that not only make your flip expensive, but also slow the process down substantially. And we also build houses, so we do all of our building in-house. About a month ago, because a lot of people ask me, they say, hey, can we use your guys' process for our flips? And I said, no, this is only for us, sorry. But about a month ago, we started being a general contractor and builder for other investors. And it's been crazy because I think we're doing 16 flips for other people now in the last month.
Wow.
So that's everybody knew we were, and they're like, hey, can you just flip it for us? Because we don't know anybody that could do it as fast as you guys and as inexpensive. And still, we permit everything, so the quality is good and all that type of thing. So we're doing like a full service where, if somebody needs help with that, we can help them out with that whole process. And now to date, I've done over 400 flips. My partner's done over 400.
Yeah.
So we have almost close to 1,000 flips in our, in experience. And so now we're doing it for other people. And, it's a pretty good deal, I think. But it's systems. You got to have, what we do is we do a Kickstarter meeting on every project. So we bring in all the plumber, electrician, all the key people, and we lay out all the potential problems that are going to happen, and we create a critical path that everybody agrees to. And so we come up, that's how we do it in 30 days. You have to have a plan, and everybody has to be in sync.
Yes.
Throughout the
so
whole
Ryland,
process.
if people want to get more information or attend one of those, how can they do that?
Yeah, they call me directly. They can also go on a meetup, because I do free coaching 3 times a month. It's called Bellevue Wholesaler Workshop. And we coach rehabbers and wholesalers for free. And so that's a great thing. They can go and meet up, or they can call me at 206-832-9590. My email is info@rycohomes.com.
And as always, you can go to themoneyhour.com too if you want to get Ryland's information. He'll be there. Ryland, run a little bit down him out of here, and I want to make sure that I ask you this. What about land? And because you talk about how you can get land for free.
Yeah, so I've actually, I think I'm building about 20 to 25 houses right now, and 18-unit condo and a 24-unit apartment. I have never paid for land. So
how is that possible?
What you do is you find a piece of land and you subdivide it, and then you get a piece of land for free.
Got it.
So that's what we do on everything. We don't actually buy land.
Wow.
And you use the equity in your land as a down payment to purchase the property. As a down payment on the construction loan.
Got it.
Yeah, so that's what we do.
So tips on land and what you should really be looking for before I take us to break.
You got to know the zoning extremely well, highest and best use, ingress, egress, how you get in and out on the land. And it's, a lot of people miss these deals. I just found a deal on the MLS, was on the market for 47 days. I'm going to make $500,000 on it. We can build 2 townhomes and a skinny mini on Rainier Avenue. And everybody saw this, and nobody saw the development opportunity. And there was literally 3 lots that we subdivided it to that were all worth $130,000, and we paid $420,000 for the property.
Wow.
So we got a property on Rainier Avenue, 3,400 square feet for $30,000. For the realtors out there, right? Tell me you can find a $30,000 house for 340 square feet in Seattle.
Sure.
That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
But if you learn what you're looking for, then you can look for stuff like that.
Yeah. So, again, if you want to talk with Ryland, call the show 1-855-400-1150 or go online at themoneyhour.com. And if you're looking at doing something in the flipping arena, that's his expertise and what he does. Ryland, thank you so much for coming into studio today and sharing your information. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I really came out to hang out with Tina. So
you're so sweet.
That was the main reason for me coming out. So.
Ryland, thank you so much. And coming up next on the Money Hour, how can you invest in brain health and help your financial situation, your financial life? I have Dr. Chapik with Amen Clinics Northwest right here at 1150 AM KKNW after this short break.